Welcome to Plantgistix Web Benefits Training course. Today, I'm going to show you how to easily access web benefits, make qualifying life event changes, and enroll into your benefits. This course is not learning Plantgistix benefit, but how to navigate throughout the web benefits system. Being handed over 50 pages of documents to enroll in your benefits is extremely time-consuming. Web Benefits is a user-friendly system that allows for more convenience for record keeping, easy access to enrollment data, making life event changes, and it's a more suitable way of submitting your elections at your own free time. By the end of this training, you will know how to log into Web Benefits, make your new hire and/or open enrollment elections, make life event changes, update family and/or beneficiary information. Furthermore, I will show you how to locate additional resources, such as the enrollment confirmation form, the summary of benefits we offer, and lastly, the employer user guide, just in case you need a reference of the web benefit enrollment once the training has concluded. So, let's get started. To log into Web Benefits, we ask that you use the Google Chrome web browser from a desktop. Then enter the web address access.paylocity.com. This will direct you to the Paylocity login page. For some employees, using the Paylocity desktop version is common, but for those that are new to using Paylocity or are more familiar with using the Paylocity application, this process is slightly different yet simple. Just start with your company ID, username, password, then select Login. Please make sure to see HR if you're having issues with your login credentials. Once you have successfully logged in, you will be on the Employee Portal main screen. At the top left, you will locate WebPay. Hover over WebPay. The drop-down will give you 4 options to select. You want to select the Enterprise Web Benefits option. Congratulations! You have now accessed the Web Benefits portal. Now we can enroll. But first, I'm going to show you several ways to verify that Web Benefits has your most updated information. One way is by scrolling below and selecting Edit My Profile. Or you can remain at the top of the page and select Start Your Enrollment. This is the preferred method considering Web Benefits is designed to walk you through the process of verifying all your information prior to you starting your enrollment. We'll begin by selecting Start Your Enrollment. The first page verifies the employee's information. Review your profile, then scroll to the bottom of the page to confirm the information is correct. Check I agree, then continue. Next, you have the option to add dependents, such as a spouse or a child. For anyone employed with Plantgistix after January 2018, you are required to provide documentation to carry dependents. The red arrow points towards the list of acceptable documents. You may carry an adult child up to 26 years of age. Once the child becomes 26, Web Benefits will auto-remove the child from your insurance. If the child is disabled, as long as HR has the appropriate documentation, the child can remain insured on your policy. Below the employee profile, you will see the word Edit. This is another opportunity to make the changes to your information before your enrollment has begun. For training purposes, I have added a spouse and a child. I'm satisfied with the above data, so I'm going to check I agree, then select Continue. We have now reached the enrollment page. If you notice, every benefit option is marked with an asterisk. This means you cannot skip over any plan options. You must either select a plan or choose to waive the benefit. Let's start with reviewing the details for medical by selecting View Plan Options. This page inquires who will be covered on the medical plan. Will it be employee only, employee plus spouse, employee plus child, or a family plan? I also want to direct your attention to the option to add another dependent. But for myself, I've decided I want to cover my whole family. So I need to check everyone's name and select Continue. The next page displays all three medical plan costs for a family. You can also select the plan using the side-by-side view. By selecting the side-by-side layout, you will see it makes it easier to compare prices as well as read the overview of each plan. However, let's select Back to Plans to make our selection. If we scroll to the bottom of the page, we will see the option to waive the medical plan. This is there just in case after reviewing the medical details, we determine we don't need medical insurance. You also have the options to switch between dependents you carry. By doing this, you can see the various cost options based on the dependent title you carry. For example, if I decided I don't want a family plan, I just want to cover myself and my spouse, I uncheck the option to carry the child, and as you can see, the system auto-calculates the new cost per pay period. I've actually decided that both my spouse and child need medical insurance, so I'm going to add my child back on and keep my original selection of the MM20 plan to cover my family. After hitting select, the enrollment page now displays three changes. One displays everyone who is covered on the medical plan. 2, the amount I will be charged per pay period. And 3, we have now completed our selection for the medical plan and now ready to move on. As you continue to make your selections, the process for selecting a medical plan is the same process for dental and vision. Life insurance, 401k, Colonial Life, and DFSA/FSA all have a slightly different process that I'll go over, yet it's still very simple. I have decided I only want to cover myself with voluntary life insurance. I now need to decide what coverage amount to select and how much will it cost per pay period. Let's see our choices by selecting View Plan Options. You have the option of selecting View Plan Details and reading the overview for the life insurance, which will bring you to this page. I'm aware of the benefits of having life insurance, so I'm going to move forward and select Back to Plans. Once hitting Select, there are 5 things listed on this page to pay attention to. 1. View Plan Details, in case you need a refresher of the overview. 2. The drop-down, which lists the coverage amount that the life insurance offers. 3. The maximum guaranteed coverage amount before having to complete an EOI form that will be approved by an insurance adjuster before the coverage amount is added. And 4. The cost summary. This is the per pay period cost. This amount will auto-calculate according to the coverage amount you select. 5. Of course, you have the option to waive the voluntary life insurance. I'm going to select $25,000 for 64 cents a pay period and select Continue. Now that I have completed my elections for life insurance, I'm going to waive the life insurance options for spouse and child and move on to selecting my dependent care amount to help me with child care. The dependent care election process is the same for HSA and FSA. In order to appropriately select the amount for my dependent care needs, there are 4 factors you need to focus on. 1. The total amount you want to have placed on the card. 2. Calculate costs. This is the per pay period amount that is deducted until the next annual enrollment. 3. The minimum to maximum you can contribute towards the dependent care. And 4. Is the remaining pay periods left before the next annual enrollment. This will also affect the pay period amount calculated in the summary. I'm going to select 300 and click Continue. If you notice, retirement, better known as 401k, and the Colonial Life Plan, both are listed as View Information. This is because both benefits are offered through a third-party company that we contact directly for enrollment. Although the options are informational, you still have to select View Information in order for the system to allow you to submit your enrollment. This is because the system is designed to ensure that employees have viewed all benefits offered. When you select retirement, the page will display the link that will direct you to the MassMutual website to enroll. Once the link is selected, it will open up a new tab in your web browser. See a member of HR if you would like to learn more about what MassMutual offers for 401k. There is a booklet that is provided by MassMutual which gives an entire overview and explains everything about 401k. Let's go back to our tab for our web benefits. Select Continue to acknowledge we have reviewed the 401k details and return back to the enrollment page. The method is same for the Colonial Life Plan. Once you select View Information, select View Plan Details. The page will display several attached documents along with the paper enrollment form. If you are interested in signing up, please print, complete the enrollment form, and return the form to a member in HR. As you can see, Continue is not an option to return to enrollment page. We must select Back to Plans. We have now completed our elections. Before we continue, I want to make sure every benefit plan is marked with a green check and shows completed. Web benefits will not let us move on unless all plans are marked complete. For time's sake, I have already scrolled up and made sure I have completed my selection for every benefit. I'm ready to continue. Before we submit our enrollment, everyone is required to assign a beneficiary for basic life and if you elected voluntary life. Let's zoom in to complete the page. I want to direct your attention to the total. In order to continue, the amount must equal 100%. After reconsideration, I want to add a beneficiary who is not a dependent on my life insurance. So I'm going to add my mother. I'm going to fill out her information and select Save. Now that I have added my mother as a beneficiary, I need to recalculate my percentage to include her, but also make sure my total equals 100%, and select Continue. We are now on the last page, which is the summary of all of our benefits. Before making your submission, there is another opportunity to confirm or make additional changes. If you notice, the purple flag alert reads, "You are covering an unverified dependent. This election will pend until HR approval." This alert will be listed for all elections. It's actually required that HR approves elections for every employee. This is so HR has a list of everyone who has enrolled, therefore any employees who have not can be notified of their deadline. So now I'm going to scroll down and make sure I'm satisfied with all my selections. HSA and dental looks good. Vision and life are good. Voluntary life is good. Looks good and good. Good. I am satisfied with my selections. I'm ready to check I agree and I'm finished with my enrollment and then select complete enrollment to the right. Congratulations! We have now completed our enrollment. Keep in mind of your deadline date just in case you may need to log back into Web Benefits to make changes. It's not necessary to print your confirmation statement considering the information is saved in Web Benefits, unless you feel more comfortable having a hard copy. We are now ready to move on to the next part of our training. This includes locating resources such as the benefits summary, the employee user guide, and the enrollment confirmation form, learning where to go to update family information, beneficiary information, uploading documents to HR, and finally, making a qualifying life event. Let's log back into Web Benefits and begin our training. Here we are. Let's scroll down. Under the section Benefit Summary, we have some resources listed to help you with your open enrollment. Next to one is the summary of all benefits. This user-friendly handout provides general information of all the benefits Plantgistix offer. 2 is the Employee User Guide. This is another handout you can print out to help you navigate through the enrollment of web benefits. And 3, Once your enrollment has completed, the enrollment confirmation form is a PDF copy of your elections. This document can be printed and stored for your personal record keeping. There are two ways of accessing this document. You have the option here on the main screen, which is the preferable shortcut, or you can scroll up, select Edit My Profile, then Personalize Forms, and it's also located here to view. Edit My Profile is also the section where we would go to update personal information, such as demographics. In addition to your address, there is family information, which allows for updating dependents information or adding dependents. In the beneficiary section, it's slightly different in the training environment than in the actual live version. You will still see your beneficiaries and be able to add them. However, when you scroll below, you will have a section that allows you to differentiate percentages for your coverage amount. We're going to skip security questions, considering it's never used, and discuss employee file. This is where any documents needed for adding or removing dependents is submitted. For example, John Smith is a newborn, and in order to add him on my coverage, I need to provide his birth certificate. I select View and Upload Documents, which brings me here. I'm going to title this document Test Upload and select Choose File. The file has been uploaded. I select Save, and it shows that it has been saved successfully. It now appears below. And if I close out of this page and go back in and scroll down, there's your confirmation that it has been successfully uploaded to HR. We have finally made it to our last training topic, which is qualifying life events. What are qualifying life events? A qualifying life event is when you're given 30 days to complete a special enrollment that is outside your normal open enrollment period. Some life events include your spouse losing their coverage and now needs to be added on yours, removing or adding a child, marriage, divorce, etc. There are several events that will allow for a special enrollment. They're all listed in Web Benefits, but first, let's understand the difference between open enrollment, new hire enrollment, and a qualifying life event. Open enrollment, new hire enrollment allows the employee the option to select or waive all benefits offered. If you are hired after January 1st, 2018, to add dependents, you must provide documentation to prove your relationship. In a qualifying life event enrollment, the employee is only given the option to remove or add a dependent on the current insurance. Documentation is required for every employee that completes this special enrollment. You have 30 days from the event to complete the enrollment. Your insurance will take effect the first day of the following month. Let's go back into Web Benefits to see how the life event is processed. There are two locations to select the life event enrollment. You can access it through the Edit My Profile section or in the section titled Life Events. Let's take the shortcut and navigate to the Life Events section. Previously, I mentioned there are several options that will qualify as a life event, other than birth or marriage. If we select All Other Life Events, the drop-down shows other qualifying life events, such as divorce, death, adoption, etc. We're going to close out of this and select one of the common life events, birth. The first thing we have to do is enter the date of the event. Let's say I had a baby on the 4th of July. We enter the date and select Add Dependent to enter his additional information. Now we enter the full name. The Social Security number does not have an asterisk, considering that information typically comes later after you give birth. Keep in mind, you can always go back to Edit My Profile and update the social in the Family Information section once it has arrived. Select the gender. Selecting yes for a disabled child will allow an adult child to remain on your benefits after the age of 26, as long as the proper documents are provided to HR. Relationship is child. Tobacco user is not required. This next section does not apply to Plantgistix. Some companies allow for their employees to carry adult children over the age of 26 if they are still in school. For Plantgistix, once the child becomes 26, Web Benefits will auto-remove the child from your benefits with the exception of a disabled child. Next, we verify the address is current and select Save. After selecting Save, we get a notification that reads, adding a new dependent may require the submission of documentation to your benefits department. This is your reminder to go to Edit My Profile and Employee Information to upload the proper documents to the HR department. We now have our dependent added. Now we select Continue. For our confirmation page, we check I agree that the above information is accurate and select Save and Start Life Event Enrollment. We get another notification that states, in order to complete your life event, you must actively enroll your eligible dependents in your benefits. On the next page, follow the steps to either add or waive your dependents coverage. Let's select OK. We're now on the life event page. As previously mentioned, when submitting a qualifying life event, you only have the option to add a dependent on your current plan. You cannot change your plan until the next open enrollment. I currently only have medical insurance. I need to select View Plan Options. Select everyone, including the newly added dependent that you want to cover on the plan. In the training environment, it doesn't allow for the spouse to be covered. So we're going to leave the spouse unchecked and select Continue. The plan I currently have is the Medical MM20. I'm going to click Select. My plan price doesn't change since I'm only adding a child. You want to pay especially close to this page. It shows everyone who's supposed to be covered. This page is very important to review because you wouldn't want to accidentally leave anyone off who needs to be covered under your insurance. Now that I have updated my newly added dependent on my medical insurance, if I scroll down, my only option now is to select Continue. As you can see, I have no other options except to scroll down. Almost to the bottom. I could have selected Continue after confirming everyone coverage on my medical plan. However, I wanted you to see that every plan has a green check and shows completed. Nothing else can be changed until the next enrollment. Let's select Continue. Now that we've added a new dependent, we need to go in and either recalculate our percentages or place the percentages as we previously had it for both basic life insurance. I'm going to recalculate mine to include my newly added dependent, John Smith. Remember, the total must equal 100% before you can continue. Now we need to scroll down to the basic life AD&D. I'm going to enter 100% for my spouse and select Continue. We now need to finalize our enrollment by reviewing the plan again and ensuring that the newly dependent shows covered as well as the additional dependents before we complete our enrollment. So let's scroll down. Everything is correct. Next to the caution alert, it states, you are covering an unverified dependent. This election will pend until HR approval. This means if you have not already uploaded the proper documents in the employee file section, the enrollment will not be approved by HR. We are now ready to select Complete Enrollment. Check I agree, and I'm finished with my enrollment. And let's select Complete Enrollment. Congratulations! We have now completed a qualifying life event. Keep in mind, you have until your deadline date to make changes. Once HR has received the acceptable documents to add your dependent, the coverage for the newly added dependent will take effect the first day of the following month. I hope this training was educational for you. If you have questions regarding web benefits or your insurance, be sure to direct them to a member in HR. Also, don't forget the summary of benefits and the employee user guide. It's located in Web Benefits, main page, directly under the benefits summary. This is another resource to help you with your enrollment process. I want to thank you for your time and wish you a happy enrollment.